Hello. Today I'm going to be talking about how we use Twitter for business networking. So if you've thought about using Twitter for your business, but just thought, I'm not sure whether I should be using Twitter. It's all a bit negative, I've heard. It's a bit fast and furious. You've got to create loads of content. Well, don't worry, because today I'm just going to be running through a few examples of how you can use Twitter to market your business. Again, if you're watching this live, please do give us a thumbs up, say hello in the chat, and please do follow my channel for lots of tips on social media every week. So I'm Bex from Social Media Executive, and I train businesses how to effectively use social media to market their business. And today we're going to be talking about Twitter. How do we market our business through Twitter? Now, there are three areas that I like to think about when we're a business and we're using Twitter. So there's the first area is one, basically it's about raising awareness of your brand. Why wouldn't you want to? Okay. But it's not always that easy because there are so many social media platforms to choose from. So let's think about why we should use Twitter. Two, Twitter is fantastic for research. Okay, and again, I'm going to be talking a bit about research. And then the third thing that I love about Twitter, the most important thing when you're as a business, is basically using Twitter to prospect for new clients. And again, I'm going to talk about why that's so important and how you can do that at the end of this video. So if you do get stuck with Twitter and you think, crikey, I don't know where to start, then do come along. I do have an online workshop coming up at the end of this month, where we'll be doing an hour a day on Zoom, and I'll be teaching you exactly how to implement a lot of what we are talking about today. So again, I'll put the link in the chat. So hi, Amanda. Thanks for saying hello. Again, if you're watching, please do give us a thumbs up and say hello in the chat, even if you're not watching live. Thanks for saying hello, Amanda. Okay, then. So Twitter then. So the most important thing then, when we're looking at Twitter, I'm just going to put the link in the chat. But basically, oh, hi, Andrea. Thanks for saying hello. Basically, we're looking at raising awareness. Okay, now raising awareness is really, really important because people don't realize this, but actually, the one thing that you have got when you look at your Twitter profile is free advertising space. Okay, you've got free advertising space. And I'm going to jump onto Twitter in a minute and I'm just going to show you what I mean. But you've got a banner image where you can advertise your business. Now, so many people ignore this banner and just put a generic one on and it doesn't say anything. You've also got a little bio, a little introduction, so you can market again what you do rather than just having the name of your company. So anybody jumping on and visiting your profile can have a look at that. And again, I'm going to jump on, I'm going to share my screen and show you what I mean by that, because people forget about this. And actually, you've got some really, really good bits here. Okay, so you've got a banner. Straight away, you can advertise what you do. You can put your logo here. I've got my face there. There's only me in the business, but you can put your logo there as well. And then also, you've got a little bio here. You can talk about what you do. Oh, hi, Debbie. Thanks for saying hi. So again, you've got some really fantastic advertising space there before you've even started, okay, which is really quite exciting. You only have as well, the reason why I like Twitter as well is that you've got some really good analytics. So if we click in the more bit down here, you've got some fantastic analytics, and even if you don't do any tweets, basically it's going to tell you how many people have visited your profile. So again, in the last 28 days, I've only done 26 tweets. I've done less tweets than I have normally, but my profile visits have gone up 55%. I have basically reached 828 people. That's how many people have clicked on and looked at my profile, okay? And if you look at my profile, I've only got 647 followers. So I'm reaching more people and I am not tweeting every day, okay? So that's basically free promotion, okay? So some of the other things then that we want to look at is, why do we love Twitter? We've got some fantastic insights. You've got this free marketing space. But the other thing that I'm going to talk about is the size of your tweets. I love Twitter because the size of your tweets are really quite short. You've only got 280 characters. So you don't have to think too much about what you put. It's all about putting your thoughts down there, putting some simple bits of information. Really, really simple. And text only tweets do really well as well if you've got something interesting to say. And believe me, you have got something interesting to say, because that's why you're in business. We often think that what we've got to say is always a bit dull, but it really isn't. Really think about what your customers love about you and what they love to hear about. So short text, short, sharp, snappy, no wasting time there. Okay, and actually what I tend to do is I just do a quick summary sometimes of, if I posted on LinkedIn, I'll just summarize it and put it on Twitter. The other thing as well about LinkedIn that's really good, if you are active on LinkedIn and you're thinking, oh, should I use Twitter or not? You can actually automatically post from LinkedIn to Twitter. Those two platforms work phenomenally well hand in hand. If you're a B2B company, they work really well. So you can post automatically from LinkedIn to Twitter. Job done. And then you've got your free banner. You've got your banner advertising what you do. Why wouldn't you do it? Okay. So again, the beauty about Twitter as well is people love to retweet. If you've got something interesting to say, people on Twitter are used to retweeting. Okay. And believe it or not, Twitter is the platform where you get groundbreaking news and information. Okay. And I'm going to give you some really interesting statistics on Twitter about who exactly are the demographics on there in a minute when we talk about how we prospect for new clients. Okay, so Twitter is phenomenal for groundbreaking information, if I can say that. We've basically got over 335 million active users across Twitter. That's a huge audience. Your audience is going to be on there. But interestingly enough, what type of audience is on there? And again, I'm going to tell you the stats of them in a minute, because I think you'll be quite surprised. So Twitter's fantastic for doing research. So even if you're not active on Twitter as a business, but you should be using it for groundbreaking news. Research goes out all the time. Journalists use Twitter all the time, not only to tweak out information of groundbreaking information they've just found out, groundbreaking news, but also journalists are on the lookout for news stories. So if you've got new information, groundbreaking information, new updates to products, services, etc., pop them on Twitter, because it may get picked up by the media. That is the one platform where media journalists are very, very active. It's great for industry insights. Follow other people on Twitter to see what they're doing, what's up and coming in your industry, what's groundbreaking. Brand news, put it on Twitter. It's a news platform. It really is, news and information. And it is the best platform. If you run events, it's a no-brainer to be on Twitter, because that's where Twitter basically comes to life. If you go to an event, a large exhibition, maybe an expo, and they're using a specific hashtag expo, social media executive, let's assume they've got that specific hashtag, anyone going and tweeting about their expo using that hashtag, you can basically find people at these events. When I worked in the gaming industry at Nomad Games, I used to go to the massive Eurocom and events like that. I used to follow Twitter. All the journalists going to those events would be using that event hashtag. So I could basically connect with those journalists before I even went to the event and set up media interviews with them, because I knew who was there. I could set up and see who was going. I could interact with who was going to that event. I could have conversations with people before I went to the event to line up interviews, partner interviews, media interviews, and potential customer interviews as well. It's phenomenal for events. So if you're running events, it's an absolute no-brainer. So for research and things like that, really important. So the third reason you should be on it is basically prospecting for new clients. I mean, who doesn't want to prospect for new clients? Okay. So just give you some interesting data. So basically, I did a bit of research today just to have a look. And basically, the Pew Research Centre has done a lot of research around American users, but you can guarantee that that filters through to the UK as well. Basically, around 62% of users are male, so the rest are female. So it's a male-dominated platform, okay? It's quick, it's short, it's snappy, it's straight to the point, is Twitter. They also found, and this is really interesting, that 41% of Twitter users generally had a household income of more than $75,000 a year. So what they found was it was generally the higher earners that were on Twitter. Okay, so if you are looking to connect with senior representatives in business, maybe CEOs, directors, senior management, etc., you can more or less guarantee, well, you can guarantee there's a lot of them on Twitter. But what you tend to find is that these people tend to use Twitter much more, senior representatives, because they're so busy. They can't be bothered, on Facebook. They haven't got time for it. LinkedIn, there's too much information on LinkedIn. But Twitter, short, sharp, to the point, very busy. Professionals are on there getting their information. Again, if you've got any questions, do post them in the chat. Okay. And the other bit of information that I thought was really useful was that 42% of users have a degree or higher on Twitter as well. So we're looking at very highly educated people on Twitter. Okay. Generally speaking, a lot of research, a lot of scientists are on there, a lot of academics are on Twitter. So again, if that's basically around your niche, your sector, your business targets, then you need to be on Twitter. So Twitter is fantastic for prospecting for clients. And the one reason that I love Twitter more than any of the other social media platforms is that you can actually file your Twitter followers or people who you want to keep an eye on. You can file them into lists. So if I was following 20,000 people, all their potential tweets would fall in my timeline, but I can actually file those people into different lists. So for example, I will have Warrington businesses, I think is a list of mine, networking businesses. I have existing clients. And again, these lists are private. No one can see them. And then I have prospective clients. Okay. Now, these prospective clients and existing clients mean that I can just jump onto Twitter, see in one news feed, one separate news feed, what all my existing clients are doing, so I can interact and keep in touch with those, but also prospective clients. So I am basically interacting with just prospective clients. I don't ever look at the general news feed that comes in through my followers. I have a very sectioned out area and a very clear strategy on who I need to be doing business with, who I need to be talking to, and who I need to get in front of. So that is the real value of Twitter. Over and above any other social media platform, Twitter provides this function, unlike the rest of them. So if you want to use Twitter for your business, not only is it fantastic for groundbreaking information, not only is it fantastic for promoting what you do through short, snappy little bits of tweets, you can reach lots of people, but it's also fantastic for prospecting and looking for new clients. And I literally have made thousands of pounds through Twitter. People have come to me, they've seen my content, and they've done business with me. So those are the three reasons. And again, using hashtags are phenomenal on Twitter. Hashtags were born on Twitter. And again, if you're not sure how to use hashtags on Twitter, you can see this video. Again, look through this video and this will teach you how to use hashtags, because that's phenomenally effective on how your Twitter strategy should work in order to grow your followers and attract new business. So if you need more help and support on Twitter, please do come along to my online workshop. I'm going to be teaching you how to do all this. I'm going to be teaching you the strategy for prospecting for new clients, how to do it really simply just by spending 10 minutes a day on Twitter. I'm going to show you how to create fantastic lists, be really targeted in the way you deliver your strategy, and basically how to engage with all these potential journalists on there as well. So do come along to my workshop. I've put more details in the chat there. We do an hour a day on Zoom. It is limited to 10 people. And I tell you, it will be worth your while. It's a fantastic price. I think it's only about £172 for the whole course. So please do come along. So that's Twitter. Please share your thoughts on Twitter in the comments below. And I will see you next week at 12:30 for another social media extravaganza of tips, support and advice. So please do make sure you're subscribed and following my social media, and please do click the like button if you enjoyed this post. I'll see you all next week. Bye.